welcome to Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts for today's game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New England Patriots. This game is critical to the Patriots' playoff hopes. New England has to win its final two games, today against the Bucs and next week against Denver. The Cleveland Browns also have to lose one, or New England has to win both and Houston has to lose both. So a win today is paramount, and that brings us back to the New England quarterback situation. And hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt. Doug Flutie has led New England to a 6-3 record over the last couple of months, and he has never lost a game here at Sullivan Stadium. And yet today, Tony Eason gets the start at quarterback. Eason is not 100% healthy, and he has not taken a snap, has not played a down in the National Football League in over a year. So we bring in Hank Stram, who's won a Super Bowl as a head coach in the National Football League. And Hank, I ask you, would you start Tony Eason today?
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't, Timmy. I'd start Doug Flutie because I think Doug Flutie has earned the right to be the starting quarterback of this football team. Tony Eason is not totally well. He admitted that he's about 90%, so that's another reason why I would start Doug Flutie, plus the fact that Flutie has completed 51% of his passes, thrown 8 touchdown passes, has run for an average of 5 yards per carry. In this kind of a game, running is very important. He can not only throw the ball, but in conjunction with that same thought, he gives you a 3 running back dimension, which is very important in this kind of a game.
All right, Hank, the weather today is frigid. Look at this, 18 degrees, and I don't think that's advantageous to anybody when it's a -15 wind chill factor. And another fact worth noting, Tampa Bay has won only once in its entire history when the temperature was below 50 degrees. New England kicking off, Teddy Garcia, kicking deep to Donnie Elder, who will down it there for the touchback. Elder leads the NFC in returns with a 23-yard average, but he won't get the chance here, and they'll bring it out to the 20. Tampa Bay has been a slow starter all year. Buccaneers have been outscored 105-20 in the first quarter this season. Meanwhile, 6 of New England's 8 wins this year have taken place right here in Sullivan Stadium, as you get a good look at Vinny Testaverde, the quarterback for the Bucs. Kerry Good and William Howard are the setbacks in the pro set. Straight ahead they go, and we'll see a lot of this. This afternoon, Howard picks up a good chunky yardage across the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll say that his knee hit before the 25, so it'll be a gain of 4. Tackle was made by Tim Goad. Defensively now, as you look at the lineups, Brent Williams, Tim Goad, and Milford Hodge starting for Barris. Barris still not back from knee surgery. Andre Tippett, of course, is the longtime veteran there. Rembert is having a great year. In the secondary, Marion, an all-pro season. And again, they go straight up the middle. Tackle again made by Tim Goad. He has 2. And this time it was Kerry Good.
They want to go straight at the defense, too, Timmy. I think they have great respect for the linebackers of New England. As a result, they're afraid to go outside too much because they pursue and react so well.
Vinny Testaverde gets the start as the quarterback. Good and Howard are the setbacks. Lars Tate is injured. Carrier and Smith the wideouts, and Ron Hall's the tight end. 3rd down and 3. Smith is the motion man. First pass of the afternoon for Testaverde, complete. And it's going to be a first down for Tampa Bay. Donnie Smith makes the catch. He's playing in front of Bruce Hill. Let's show you that offensive talent now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Vinny Testaverde, who averages an interception every 14 passes, did not throw one last week. That's a good sign. Good starts in place of Tate. Howard the setback. Carrier and Smith the wideouts. Smith playing for Hill, and Ron Hall's the tight end. Up front, Gruber, the rookie, having a great year, all-pro year. This is the strength of that Tampa Bay offense. Only one rookie on the offensive line. 2 tight ends now, Hall and Parks, on first down for the Bucs. Straight ahead goes Howard for a couple. What do you think of this game, Hank?
I think basically, you know what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to do to win this game. Number 1, no missed field goals and no bad punts. The kicking game will be very important today. Number 2, must force 3 turnovers. And the important thing is to capitalize on them and get points when they do get the turnovers. And number 3, they must rush for at least 115 yards.
Again, 2 tight end system. 2nd down and 8. Carrier in motion. This is the pitch back to Howard. Howard pulls his way across the 40. It'll be another Tampa Bay first down. Tackle made by Fred Marion.
In that time, all they did, Tim, was use man-for-man blocking, zone blocking on the left side. They wanted to get a hat on everybody, got a seam, and Howard busted through there for the nice yardage on the play. The fine takeoff is excellent so far.
He started to get a lot more carries in the Chicago game. Now he has 351 yards. First down, the ball on the 42 for Tampa Bay. Again, they go with the running game up to the 47-yard line. It looks like Howard will get a pretty good workout here this afternoon. Andre Tippett with the tackle.
And the great thing about it was that time they had a guy in the gap, and he was able to read that gap block and bounce to the right side. Tampa Bay's offense has scored only on first possession only once in 14 games, and we were there to see that one against Minnesota.
They had been outscored 70-0 until that point. Still been outscored 105-20. Good and Howard down the I formation. Wing receivers to the bottom of the screen. Second down and long. Good takes it into New England territory. And Hank, this is a good-looking drive for Tampa Bay.
It really is. And, of course, Rob Taylor, the right tackle, and Hall, the tight end, that got off the ball in good shape, sustained their blocks, and as a result, they got a good push. Was able to make so much yardage on the play.
Perkins coached New England wide receivers here as an assistant early in his career. Struggling through his second season with the Buccaneers as head man, but he's had 27 players in their first or second year playing on this team. Third down and a long one. The ball at the New England 49. And again, they stay with the tight power formation. Good met at the line of scrimmage and didn't make it. Tackle made by Fred Marion.
It looked like the anticipation of Marion was excellent, and it looked like they anticipated the count as well as the offensive team did. He got there right about the time the ball carrier tried to get over the top.
I said he didn't make it, Hank. Of course, it depends on the mark. It looked like he came up short.
They got a little bit of a push, but I feel like you do. It's very close. Hard to tell whether he made it or not.
Well, they're going to take a good long look at it. Referee today is Ben Dright. They're bringing the chains out. Well, they're not going to go for it. Ray Criswell, number 13, the punter, comes on for Tampa Bay. Even though they're in New England territory, less than a yard for a first down needed. There's a look at Criswell. Criswell, 5 punts last week, only 32-yard average. Only punter in the NFC without a touchback this year. Irving Fryer is deep for New England. Fryer's third in the NFC, has a healthy 10-yard plus return average. Pressure up the middle. Criswell's punt. Maybe his first touchback of the year. No, they're going to have it inside the 5, and it's down at the 2-yard line. A 46-yard punt, no return, and it's down by Odie Harris. We'll be back. Most controversial player in the stadium is Tony Eason, who starts today for Doug Flutie. Eason hasn't played it down since November 1st, 1987. And New England starts with very poor field position. After all was said and done, they marked it just inside the 4.
And Irving Fryer was on the 20-yard line instead of being on the 10.
I don't know if Doug Flutie was clapping for Eason or just trying to keep his hands warm. On first down, straight ahead, up to the 6-yard line. Defensively for Tampa Bay, Davis, Jarvis, and Goff up front, 2 rookies and a 1-year vet. Eugene Marv is the leader of the linebackers. 7-year vet, played at Buffalo, so he's used to cold. Urban Randall's healthy again. The 4 starters in the secondary have made almost 300 tackles this year. They're aggressive and will fill quickly, but Tampa Bay's given up 18 touchdown passes this year. So it's 2nd down and 7 now. The ball marked at the 6. Big hole left side. As Perryman cuts back against the grain, he'll be short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd down and short.
Watch the big hole on the right side to our left here as we look at it, and then he bounces back to the left side where the cavity was and gets the necessary yardage and a big close to the first down on the play. But a good read by Perriman.
Good cutback to the left. I suspect everybody will be slanting to that strong right side of the offense. Last week, 46 of the 54 running plays went to the right side, so they're slanting that way. Third down and short. Two tight ends, and this time they don't make it. Stevens is the ball carrier, but Davis, Jarvis, and Goff filled the hole quickly along with the linebackers.
Kevin Murphy really got a good shot in there, too, number 59.
It'll be fourth down, Hank, and New England now will have to punt.
And I asked the coaches of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensively if they were going to slant and do a lot of things. He said that we're going to do everything we possibly can to stop that running game. We're going to stop the running to make them throw.
Jeff Beagles has the lowest punt return average in the NFL with only 30 of his 77 punts returned. He probably will have this one returned by Bobby Futrell. Standing 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Good snap, a lot of pressure. Gets off a low kick. It'll hit at the 50. Get a New England bounce and carry down to the 46-yard line, and that's where it'll be down. A 43-yard punt, again no return, and with 7:38 remaining in the first quarter, it's scoreless. 7 minutes, 38 seconds remain in the first quarter. Both teams have had to punt in their first possessions. We're scoreless. Tim Brandt and Hank Stram at Sullivan Stadium in a very cold afternoon in New England. Wind chill factors 15 below. Tampa Bay with the football. Howard and Good are the setbacks. Pro formation.
If they run left here they come.
Howard cuts inside into New England territory down to the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Fred Marion.
Watch Gruber come off the ball on this particular play, and a good block by the back on Tippett. And of course Howard bounces to the outside, runs through a tackler, and picks up extra yardage on the play. But good execution and good takeoff on the part of the offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Howard's a tough yardage guy, 50 yards last week in 16 carries. Second down and 1 here. And Howard has the first. Howard now 6 carries, 31 yards.
And I talked to Howard before the game, and he was all smiles, and I said, "You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work." He said, "I just want to play and contribute to the success of this football team. We're going to be a good football team." So they're very enthusiastic, I think, about what they're doing.
Third first down of the afternoon for Tampa Bay. So the offense now working the ball effectively. Tampa Bay, 9 rushes, 1 pass. Good straight ahead on first down. And he's down to the 38-yard line. Gary Good, 5'11", 200-pounder, out of Alabama. Just a rookie.
If they continue to run this way, Tim, why, they're going to get the linebackers coming up into the holes a little bit more, and as a result, they will be able to run better off tackle and outside if that happens.
Linebackers have been cheating up on run plays for New England the last couple of weeks, trying to plug those gaps.
Plus the fact that it's great with play-action passes. Really disturbs the linebackers when they're playing in there that close.
Second down and 7 now for the Buccaneers. Again, it's a pro set. They run a little counter to Good. Good, if he can get around the corner, has to move down to the 32-yard line. Knocked out of bounds by Fred Marion.
This is a counter draw play. The fullback goes first, and then Good goes over to meet the quarterback, bounces to the outside. Marion, number 31, trying to push him out of bounds. Doesn't do much of a job at all of trying to tackle him. Just satisfied to push him out of bounds.
Looks as if the athletes are very careful early on, Hank, on this cold day to make sure that they're good and loose. It didn't look like Kerry Good tried to turn that corner with any authority. I want to make sure those hamstrings are stretched and everything is nice and loose and warm before they start to stretch out and go.
And you heard about the remark that Gene Upshaw made about Testaverde, about not being too smart. Perkins was upset about that call. Upshaw apologized, said he was kidding. I mentioned it to Testaverde. He said any decent man would have done that. He didn't talk to me. I feel better about the fact that he called Coach Perkins.
First down, Tampa Bay. Howard, absolutely nothing. And Reynolds got there first.
How about talking about the Eason Flutie thing yesterday to Ray Perkins? We said, well, what happens if they start Eason? He said, I would be dumbfounded. I'd be shocked. They'd never do it. It's probably a smokescreen, but that's exactly what happened here this afternoon.
He said, I'm no fool. It's a smokescreen. You're right. Tampa Bay, 4 first downs now in this first quarter. That's more than New England gave up to the Bills, or to Seattle, rather, all last week. Second down and 10. Off the left side goes Howard, and Howard may have lost a yard, so that's 2 straight plays now where the defense converged. This time the tackle was made by Tim Goad.
And Tim Goad is really having a terrific year. They're talking about pushing him for an all-rookie team, but he's played extremely well. And the remarkable thing about it is he played on a high school team that only has 16 people on the squad on 11-man football. He played every single position on the team except quarterback.
Well, Toby Williams missed camp with a contract dispute. Ken Sims got hurt. Goad got a chance to play, and he hasn't moved out since.
They can't blow him out of there with dynamite now.
Saw the rushing graphic. It's third down, and call it 10 now. 3 wide receivers for Tampa Bay. Passing formation, Testaverde to do that. Tries to get out and now throws, and it's complete inside the 25 to the 24-yard line to his tight end Ron Hall. It'll be short of the first down.
And there's Goad again, number 92 or 72, getting penetration, getting a piece. Here we see it as Testaverde looks at the defense, steps up into the pocket. And there you see Goad, number 72, popping through there, getting a piece of him, and making him throw the ball just to get rid of it so he doesn't take a loss. Good play on the part of Testaverde.
We talked to Ray Perkins last night. He says if it's 4th and about 1, I'm going for it. I don't have a lot of confidence in my kickers. Now they're going to be going for a 41-yard field goal here. Carney's had one blocked. He's missed a couple. This one's from 41 yards. It's up. But it's going to be short. Short and off to the right. He doesn't have a lot of confidence in his kickers. We're still scoreless with 3:27 remaining in the first quarter. New England about to take its second offensive possession. They didn't do much the first time. It's 3:27 remaining first quarter. We're still scoreless. In motion. Eason gives the ball off to Stevens, and Stevens breaks the tackle and busts out to the 28-yard line. Take a look at some of the scores. Green Bay up on top of Minnesota. That's a big game for the Vikings. A win there would give the Vikes a shot at the Bears at home next Monday night for their first division title since 1980. Buffalo against the Raiders. We'll keep you updated on all the scores. A Raider win keeps them in the AFC West division hunt. Second down and 5. Out of the I-Pro set. Perryman in motion. Again to give to Stevens. Breaks the tackle. Spins outside. But he's in a whole lot of trouble. He loses a yard. Tackle was made by Bobby Futrell in the right corner.
And Mark Robinson, number 30, was right up there in the line of scrimmage and forced the play.
Actually got a hand on Stevens.
Yes, it was like an 8-man front. I'm surprised he didn't change the play at the line of scrimmage.
It'll be third down and 9. New England brings its passing situation in. And Tampa Bay goes to its nickel. Tampa Bay to a 4-2-5 scheme. Rod Jones comes in as a nickel back. He takes the right corner most of the time. Futrell takes the slot. 3 wide receivers now out of the shotgun formation for the Patriots. Eason with a lot of pressure throws deep. Stanley Morgan has it up to the 44-yard line. Ball's loose. Ball's still alive, and Tampa Bay has the turnover. Donnie Elder recovered the fumble after Stanley Morgan hit the peg.
Stanley Morgan, something that he doesn't do very often. He's got great hands, good athlete, runs good patterns. Eason delivers the ball right on the money. He has to wait a little bit for it. As he goes down, he fumbles the ball. And it wasn't a situation where the ground forced the fumble. Donnie Elder picks it up and takes it back about 3 or 4 yards. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have possession, 1st and 10.
501 career receptions now. Hank, they're going to say he was down. And they are reviewing this. It's a 20-yard gain before the fumble.
It did look like a very close play. It'll be interesting to see what they determine on the instant replay.
Mark Robinson made the hit that knocked the ball loose. Replay official is Dixon Holman. It'll be first down at the 47 if they rule that Tampa Bay retains possession. Let's take another look at this play, Hank.
Here we see Morgan. He's waiting for the ball a little bit, catches it behind.
Oh, the ball is loose.
It's loose. It fell out of there as he was coming down to the ground.
Absolutely. The ball was marked loose. Now let's see what the call is. Two minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the first period of play. Tim Brandt and Hank Stram at Sullivan Stadium in a very cold Foxborough, Massachusetts. We did get some snow last night, just a dusting. Predicting possible flurries this afternoon. And they rule in favor of New England.
Incomplete pass.
I don't agree with that at all.
I don't either. I thought he had the ball and dropped it before he hit the turf. It definitely looked like a fumble.
Dixon Holman, the replay official, says it's inconclusive. Ben Bright relays that on to the team, so it'll be a first down, a 20-yard gain on the play. And they mark it at the 47-yard line. We'll see where they do mark it. Now there's going to be some discussion about that.
We had a good picture of it from this side, and it definitely looked like he made the catch and then dropped it on the way down.
Well, they're talking again. Maybe there's some communication problems with the replay booth. Ray Perkins out on the field.
I don't blame him. I'd be squeaking about that call if I were in his shoes.
Ray Perkins coached Stanley Morgan long time ago when he was the receiver coach here in New England. But that was 479 catches ago for Morgan. Now they'll explain it to Ray Perkins. $27 players in their first or second year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Perkins says the NFL has 289 players born in the 1950s. New England has 13 of them. Tampa Bay just 2. Ferguson and Kevin Callan, neither one starts.
Raymond Berry, a good picture of Raymond. Had a good visit with him, and it was interesting to hear him talk about why he wanted to start Tony Eason. And basically he said that we're lucky. We have 3 starting quarterbacks with Grogan, Eason, and Doug Flutie. We get another view of this picture just to see again what happened. He has to slow down, make the catch. He makes the catch.
Incomplete.
Now they call it an incomplete pass. Well, that's the easy way out. Because now New England will have to punt. So Jeff Fiegels will come on for the Patriots. Bobby Futrell will be deep for Tampa Bay. And all that for naught. One punt, 43 yards for Fiegels. Futrell will stand back on his own 30-yard line. So he's showing a lot of respect for Fiegels.
And Fiegels is kicking with the wind, and he changed his kicking style. He used to be a 3-step kicker. Now he's a 2-step kicker. Gets rid of the ball a lot faster.
This is a high, wobbly punt that'll take Futrell all the way back inside the 10. And he'll be down at the 14. Great punt by Fiegels, a 66-yarder. He has the longest punt in the NFL this year. That's a 74-yarder. This one for 66 and a 3-yard return. It's minus 15 degrees wind chill factor at Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. We're scoreless. Tampa Bay nothing, New England nothing. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remain in the first quarter of play. Tampa Bay has its worst field position of the afternoon, starting inside the 15. 2 tight ends, Ron Hall and Jeff Parks. in motion. It gives straight ahead, a gain of 1, maybe 2. William Howard ran right smack into Brent Williams. It was 32 degrees last week with a wind chill factor of 0. Today, the wind chill, as we said, is 15 below, and Tampa Bay brought over 1,200 pounds of warm weather gear.
I was on the field before the game, and I tell you, Timmy, it was cold. And it's going to get a lot colder as the game progresses.
2 tight end formation for Tampa Bay. One lone setback is Howard on 2nd and 8, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Andre Tippett will get credit for that tackle.
And that's the way you have to play that play. That's the old counter tray where they pull the right guard and the right tackle, and watch Tippett chase him from the backside, number 56. He takes a step to the right. Howard does, and watch Tippett coming from the backside, number 56, puts the squeeze on him, gets him in the vise. Here's another view. Right tackle, right guard pulling on the plate. Tippett chasing the tackle and comes right down the line of scrimmage and makes the tackle.
3rd down and 9 for Tampa Bay. Pro set. Now the Bucs shift to an I. Kerry Good cuts back inside, gets the block. Maybe to the 15-yard line. Ed Reynolds makes the tackle along with Roland James.
And the guard that time, Dan Turk, really got a great block in the hole on the linebacker. Beautiful block.
New England wants a timeout with 35 seconds remaining in the first period of play. And I would assume, Hank, with Tampa Bay backed up like this, they may have the punt block on, or at least set up a good wall for the return on the sidelines. And they want to get that all squared away.
They want to make sure, that's right. The kicking game, you know, I don't think people realize, Timmy, talking about the kicking game, the teams will win or lose anywhere from 5 to 7 games with a kicking game every year. So this is a very important decision.
Ray Criswell is in to punt. And Irving Fryer, who's 3rd in the AFC, will be standing at his own 47. 3rd in return.
And he's kicking into the wind.
This is a low liner, and it will be a return on this one, but good coverage by the Buccaneers. The tackle was made by Donnie Elder, who got down there first, so it was a 30-yard punt. And Elder loses a yard. But that's a good timeout by Raymond Berry.
It really is. He wanted to make sure that they would kick into the wind and wouldn't get a chance to reverse and kick with it. That was a very good call, very alert call by the bench of the New England Patriots. Raymond Berry.
Great coverage by Elder down there to make that tackle on Fryer.
He was under control, but the ball got down there so fast it would look like it was on a trolley line. And as a result, why he made good coverage on the kick.
New England, 3 plays and a punt on their first 2 possessions. We'll see what happens here with excellent field position. Eason on 1st down goes to throw, does, and has the completion to the 44-yard line to Robert Perryman. That's his 14th catch of the year. Tackle made by Kevin Murphy.
And Perryman is a fullback, but he really wanted to be a tailback. But he's a very fine runner and a good receiver, and of course he's doing a good job of blocking also for the New England Patriots.
Perryman did not practice Thursday because of a sore foot. We watched him limp around on Friday. He has it heavily taped today. So that's the end of the first quarter. With our score, New England nothing and Tampa Bay nothing. The autumnal hues of amber we saw several weeks ago, Hank, have given way to the cruel nakedness of winter. It's cold here.
Chilliness is in the air, no question about that.
I'm glad to see that Phyllis talked you into wearing a top coat up here.
Thank God she did. And here's Raymond Berry. You know, talking to him yesterday about what he was going to do with the quarterback situation, he said he's going to, start Eason because he thinks that they have a shot at the playoffs, and he thinks that they have to get their passing offense in gear, and he feels Tony Eason is the guy to get that done. The running part of it won't change any, and that's the reason why on a projected basis he thought that he would start Tony Eason.
Stevens on 2nd and 5 picks up 1. So to bring up 3rd down and 4, the tackle was made by Reuben Davis. Now in the first quarter, Tampa Bay had the ball 11 minutes and 7 seconds. New England just 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
The important thing now is they have good field position, and they have to take advantage of it. They have to get points. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had an opportunity with a field goal, but missed it earlier in the game.
John Carney with a 41-yard miss for Tampa Bay. 6 defensive backs now for Tampa Bay. 4 wide receivers for New England out of the shotgun on 3rd and 4 for Eason. Eason shows some mobility. Picks up the first down at the 36-yard line. Mark Robinson makes the tackle. That's the first down of the game for the Patriots.
And we talked to Raymond about the escapability skill of Eason. He said, don't worry about him. He can move. And here's a great illustration. They pinned the end on the inside. He did take off and run. He's faster than he is quick, and was finally tackled there by Mark Robinson, number 30.
They'll bring out the chains. Eason separated his shoulder last season. His arm was in a sling, but the sling was too tight and it caused nerve damage. So he had surgery to correct the nerve damage in his right arm. Caused a problem with his thumb. In October, the Pats wanted Eason to suit up for the Bills game, and he wasn't quite sure he was ready. So they went through a big thing. He talked to his family, talked to his agent. He suited up, and this is his first start or first play since last November. First down at the 37. And Stevens is nailed and may have lost a yard. Great penetration by Tampa Bay's defense. Robert Goff got there first, and Pig really nailed him on that tackle.
And Kevin Murphy also got in there a good angle and helped make the tackle. But they're getting off the ball extremely well. And talking about Eason, you know, talking to him again yesterday, so really my timing and execution during the week against the Bags was excellent. But he said, I don't know what it's going to be like once the defense is there and once they're hitting me and I have to dodge the bullets. I don't know how my timing and execution will be then. So far, it's been very good.
2nd down and long, call it 13 for Eason. 7-step drop, goes deep, balls in the air underneath and underthrown. It was intended for Morgan. And on the coverage was Ricky Reynolds.
And he said a couple of times, Timmy, he said he doesn't have a lot of strength in the thumb, and sometimes he throws a ball and they can't believe that it goes as bad as it did or does. That was a great illustration of it. He might have had a problem with the thumb releasing the football.
Badly underthrown. Crowd booed as soon as the ball was thrown because it was wobbly and short.
It looked like a balloon when the air was going out of it.
I bet we'll hear a lot of boos today.
Well, the important thing is, you know, this kind of a decision, you have to give Raymond Berry an awful lot of credit for having the courage to make this kind of a decision. But if they don't win this game, they'll be squeaking.
They had a phone poll on one of the local news stations last night on 3rd down and 12 about which quarterback the public would like to see, and it was heavily in favor of Flutie. This ball thrown over top, incomplete, intended for Fryer. Fryer had his hands on it, just couldn't control it. And again, there are some boos.
And he dropped it in there nicely. We're looking at it as the defense looks at it. Stays in the pocket, throws it right over the top between the defenders. Look at that, right on the money. Fryer should have made the catch. He's hit as he makes the catch and starts to tuck it away, but it falls loose. It falls incomplete.
Good hit by Robinson to knock it loose. There's a look at Jeff Feagles, the punter, and he'll be kicking to Bobby Futrell, who's standing inside his 10. This is what he calls a punt bunt. Straight up in the air, tries to get it to die inside the 10, hits it to 9, takes a Tampa Bay bounce, still down it at the 11. So with 12:42 remaining in the half, that 29-yard punt, and we're scoreless. The only real scoring opportunity came from Tampa Bay. John Carney missed a 41-yard field goal with 3:27 remaining in the first quarter. 4th and 2 was the situation there. Look at New England, just 10 yards rushing. Eason 1 for 4 now, 5 yards, and Tampa Bay has dominated the time of possession.
The only thing important about the time of possession is that you take advantage of the time of possession by getting some points, and right now it's zip.
Howard is the lone setback for Tampa Bay on 1st down, the ball at the 12. 2 tight ends with Hall and Parks. This is Howard. No secret what they were going to do that time with a power formation, and they ran off the left side for no gain. Garen Barris made the tackle. First time he's been in the ball game today. He was on injured reserve from October 26th until last week, and he played 13 plays against Seattle.
And they have a great deal of respect for him. They think he's a terrific football player.
Great job by Ron O'Neill, the trainer, to get him ready to play this early. William Howard around the right side on 2nd and 10. Gets a couple, but not much. Again, there's great pursuit by the New England defense. Lawrence McGrew got there first. McGrew, 6'5", 233-pounder out of Southern Cal.
I think the way they're chasing, too, Timmy, once they get a chance to get halfway decent field position, they have to run some counters, and maybe as they get down the field with good field position, they can maybe perhaps run a reverse, but they have to do something to disjoint that defense because they're chasing as fast as they possibly can.
It's a passing situation now for Testaverde. 3rd down and 7. They go 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen, and now they put Smith in motion. Underneath the Hall, incomplete. Badly thrown pass by Testaverde. Fred Marion was the defender.
They had a blitz on, and of course the tight end evidently was a hot receiver. Testaverde was trying to get the ball to him right as soon as he got it, but he threw it into the turf. Goes incomplete. But no question about the fact that there was a blitz, and he was a hot receiver on the play.
Criswell out of Florida with a 38-yard average today. He'll be punting to Irving Fryer. Takes the snap at the goal line. Again, it's a low, wobbly kick. But it gets a Tampa Bay bounce, and it rolls inside the 40. All the way down to the 35-yard line. So what appeared to be a very low, wobbly, bad kick turns into a 49-yarder. We're in New England, located in the rolling hills between Boston and Providence, Rhode Island, in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Sullivan Stadium. And we are scoreless. 11 minutes, 10 seconds remain in the first half. Tampa Bay and New England. Tim Brandt and Hank Stram with you. And New England has it first down at the 35. Tony Eason's the quarterback. Perryman and Stevens the setbacks for the Pats. This is Stevens on the right side, and again he loses yardage. Eugene Marv came through and made the tackle. Coming up next Saturday on CBS Sports, Boomer Esiason, the NFL's top-rated quarterback, leads the Cincinnati Bengals as they try to secure the home field advantage throughout the playoffs, while the defending Super Bowl champion Redskins are coming off a last-second win over Philadelphia. Right now they're tied with Dallas at 3 apiece, and they're fighting for their playoff lives. It all starts at 12 noon Eastern time. That'll be followed by college basketball, Georgetown and DePaul. And how about those Hoyas? Boy, I tell you, Alonzo Mourning, the young freshman, 11 blocks in one game, Hank. That ties a record, or beats a record set by Patrick Ewing.
A lot of great athletes playing professional basketball, and we talked to Dick Steinberg about that yesterday, the personnel director of New England. He said the football talent is becoming more thin because a lot of the 6'4", 6'5" guys are going into basketball because of the great exposure in basketball.
Eason's pass to Fryer is incomplete. He's now 1 for 5. You know, when I was a senior in Maryland, Hank, and signed with the Washington Redskins as a free agent for a tryout, they brought in a Darrell Brown, who was also a basketball player at Maryland. I got cut. He stuck. Doug Flutie with the headset on, all bundled up on the sidelines. Eason now 1 for 5, 5 yards, and he's missed his last 3. 3rd down and 12 for the Patriots. He's got pressure, throws the screen. Dupard to the 30. Gets a block across the 40 to the 44-yard line, but he'll still be short by about a yard of that first down marker. Chris Washington made the tackle, but it was nicely set up.
It was beautifully set up, and Dupard, who was a fine receiver, comes into the game with about 27 catches. Watch the defensive end coming from the right side. He throws right over the top. Dupard makes the catch. Goes down the sideline. Farrell is out in front looking to make a block, and Dupard does a good job of running the ball. Dupard has a bad shoulder, and he talked about the fact that he probably would have an operation after the end of this season.
Jeff Beagles to punt for New England, and it's a high spiraling punt that takes Futrell back to the 20. It's a short punt. He lost it in the sun. He started to back up. The ball was short. And it took a Tampa Bay bounce. So it's a 28-yard punt, no return. And with 9 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the half, we're still scoreless. Following this game, stay tuned for the second game of our doubleheader here on CBS as the New Orleans Saints take on the San Francisco 49ers for the title in the NFC West. Saints are looking to rebound from that loss to Minnesota, while the 49ers ride the crest of a 3-game winning streak. Who are you liking that one, Hank?
Well, I think it'd have to go with San Francisco, playing in San Francisco, but the Saints are a good team, and especially defense. A field goal could make the difference in this one.
First down, straight ahead goes Tampa Bay. Maybe a yard. Tim Goad made the tackle. Kerry Good, I believe, got a yard and a half out of it.
An interesting thing about the running game, Tim, you know, I think everybody feels, talking to trainers, talking to coaches, that you have a lot fewer injuries when you run the ball consistently well, and as many times as both of these teams are trying to run the ball. Very few injuries, especially to the offensive linemen.
Second down and 8. Flutie on the draw. Ball's loose. New England got it. Johnny Rembert, who's having a Pro Bowl year, made the recovery. 6'3", 234-pounder, 6-year veteran out of Clemson.
And that's what happens when you get the penetration. 52, Rembert. There he goes into the gap. Gets a piece of the block. Hits Goad. And, of course, the ball is fumbled and recovered by the New England Patriots.
Looked as if Good took his eye off to see the blitz coming from Rembert. Never really had it. There's the turnover situation. First down and 10, the ball on the 27. Eason trying to go for it on first down. Looks deep, now throws. And it's intercepted. And that ball was not even close. And listen to the crowd. The interception made by Ricky Reynolds. Booing Eason out of the stadium.
I don't know where he was trying to throw the ball. You know what I think he was trying to do, Timmy? I think he was trying to throw it out of the end zone, throw it so nobody can intercept it, and didn't have enough stuff on it, and I don't think he can because I think the thumb bothers it.
Tony Eason now for New England, 2 for 7, 15 yards, and that interception. And for Ricky Reynolds, that's his 4th interception of the year. The booing now has subsided, and with 8:35 remaining in the first half, Tampa Bay has the ball first down at the 20. Tampa Bay with a hole. Straight ahead is Kerry Good.
Here we see another shot of the interception. Eason going to his right. Now he's trying to throw the ball across the field, really, in the area of the left end zone, and I think the wind blew it all the way over to the other side where Ricky Reynolds came up with the interception.
Reynolds is on the O of Patriots in the end zone. Fryer was on the P. That's how far away that pass was. Second down and 5 at the 25 for Tampa Bay. William Howard, left side, out to the 29-yard line. Be about a yard shy of the first down.
You know what I can't understand? I can't understand with that good field position, Tim, talking about New England on the last drive. They've been running the ball, trying to run the ball. You would think they'd try to throw a play-action pass rather than go back in the pocket in that situation, throw it from the pocket. Chilliness, look at this. Everybody bundled up on the sideline. And what about, we talked to the players about their game against the Chicago Bears, and if they dressed it differently, and a couple of the players said, yeah, they were spraying right guard on their feet to make sure their feet wouldn't sweat. And
Third down and 1, and Howard doesn't get it. Again, it's Tim Goad, who's having a marvelous afternoon, makes the penetration and the stop.
Watch Tim go down, number 72. Getting the penetration, comes back from the backside. He goes into the gap between the left guard and the center and makes the play.
That's also a pretty good fill by the free safety, 31, Fred Marion. So 4th down and 2, and Tampa Bay has to punt again. Good look at Ray Criswell. Irving Fryer, number 80, standing at the 38-yard line. Another poor punt. This high bounce will be returned by Fryer. Inside the 40, tiptoes his way up to the 45-yard line. And those punts are just low and wobbly. 39-yard punt, 6-yard return. Ron Hall made the tackle.
You know, the other thing about the kicking game, when it's this cold, Timmy, kicking at balls like kicking a rock. It gets to be very hard.
Listen to the boos as Eason comes back out. Again, we'll set the plate for you. He's 2 for 7, 15 yards and an interception. And Raymond Berry, was telling us yesterday, he's going to let Eason work through all the boos. He's going to let him work through the rustiness. He's going to keep him in there and try to get him ready for the playoffs.
Well, the worst thing about it all was that Eason didn't sound like he was too enthusiastic about whether he could do a good job or not. Very obvious.
The ball carrier picks up 2. You're right. He said he wasn't 100%.
That's right, and he was concerned about the thumb and the nerve in the thumb. He said it's about 90%. But it's hard to imagine that somebody that hasn't played for 14 months would start in this kind of weather, get a starting assignment, especially with the game meaning as much as it does here today because Indianapolis lost yesterday.
I think he's also very concerned about what would happen if he injures that thing again because, you know, his brother Bo suffered a knee injury. The 49ers last year, he went through a difficult injury grievance with that club. 2nd down and 7 at the 48. Perriman dives across the 50 into Tampa Bay territory. Eugene Marv tripped him up. They'll mark the ball at the 49.
Had a good visit with Sean Farrell yesterday, too, and he talked about his days with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and had nothing but good things to say. He was very complimentary, wasn't he?
He really was.
Talked about how much he enjoyed playing there, and he said he especially enjoyed playing for Coach John McKay. And so everything was very positive.
Patriots won 5 of their last 6 games, held the ball 41 minutes and 5 seconds last week against Seattle. Here, it's 3rd down and 4 at the 49. 5 defensive backs for Tampa Bay, 4 wide receivers for New England, and this ball is complete to the 38-yard line. Stanley Morgan, 501st reception. Gain of 11. Tackle made by Donnie Elder.
And they had a blitz coming that time. Watch the outside linebacker coming. Here the receivers coming off the ball, man-for-man coverage. Stanley Morgan stops to the inside and is finally tackled there by Donnie Elder, number 40.
It'll be 1st down, the ball at the 37-yard line for New England. Stanley Morgan comes to the bottom of the screen. Power I formation. 1st down, they go to the right side of Stevens. Ball's loose. Ball's loose. Eason gets it back. Everybody was frozen in motion. Eason was the only guy who was free, and he came and he made the recovery.
Talk about delayed action. It was amazing that nobody reacted to the fumble ball, except with the exception of Eason. Handoff way to the right side. Now watch Eason. He's watching what's happening. Got a good view of it. Sees the ball bounce out. And he's the only one who really has a chance to make the recovery.
Mark Robinson made the hit and caused the fumble, but because it's such a right-handed team, everybody was slanting that way. Eason was the only guy on the backside where the ball ended up. 2nd down and 6 at the 33. Stevenson turns the corner and makes some valuable yards inside the 30 before Eugene Marv can make the tackle. Robert Goff chased him all the way across the field and couldn't catch him.
See, there's a great illustration of hitting straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead, straight ahead. You finally get the linebackers up a little bit, and they finally went outside. The first time, they've tried to run outside all afternoon. Talking about New England.
Let's see what the flag is, Hank.
Face mask on number 30. 5 yards. That's the 1st down.
That's Mark Robinson, who's guilty of the face mask, and it'll be enough for a 1st down. So that's the first penalty of the game. Sullivan Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Tim Brandt and Hank Stram with you. Tampa Bay has the first shot at it. Carney missed a 41-yard field goal with 3:27 remaining in the first quarter on a 4th and 2 situation. And now New England is threatening to score with 3:25 remaining in the half. First down at the 23. Perryman cuts inside, dives inside the 20.
There's a good picture of Ray Perkins. You know, an interesting thing about Ray, he coached here with New England, and while he was coaching here, he coached a prison team, the Norfolk State Prison. Got a letter at the office one day requesting some help at the prison, so he thought, well, I live in the area. I'll go out there and mess around and see what it's like. And he coached that team, had a lot of fun. The only thing he said was that the players kept asking him when they're going to play an away game. They want to get out of there.
Said he had 11 lifers on defense. He does mean guys on defense. Perryman right side down close to the 15-yard line. Irvin Randall makes the tackle.
And the other funny thing he said, I said, what did you learn about that experience coaching that prison team? He said very quickly, I learned that I never want to be in prison.
He's a quality man. Ray Perkins, as is Raymond Berry. 7 plays, 39 yards. It's consumed 4 minutes this drive for New England. Russ Francis stays in the ball game along with Steve Johnson as they load up with 2 tight ends. It'll be 3rd down and 3. The ball at the 16. I formation for New England. Stevens hit immediately, and I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage. Pig Goff made the tackle.
And Randall filled at number 54. Did he get in there quickly?
Goff and Stevens played together in the Senior Bowl last year for the South. Goff says, I've got a lot of respect for Stevens. Hit him a couple times in practice, and he's like a brick. He's tough. Stevens in the minus category in rushing today. 1 minute, 56 seconds remain in the half, and with a 2-minute warning, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back. We're scoreless in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Tampa Bay and New England. Jason Starofsky comes on with 1:56 remaining in the half. Jeff Beagles will be the holder. This will be a 36-yard field goal. He was 2 for 2 last week. This will be his longest attempt of the year, and it's not even close. It barely got off the ground.
Terrible kick. Awful kick. And I talked to him before the game, and he was excited about playing in this weather. Can you imagine that? He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and was ecstatic about the weather and felt good about the way he kicked. I said, what nationality are you? And he said, half Czech and half Hungarian.
Coming up at halftime, Brent, Irv, and Dick with all the scores and highlights. And Leslie Visser has the story of the New Orleans Saints, assumed to have lost their rhythm. That's all coming up at halftime for the NFL Today. Brent, Irv, and Dick. Keep you up to date on all the playoff scenarios as well. And that's not easy. So Carney for Tampa Bay missed a 41-yarder in the first period. Jason Starofsky a 36-yarder in the second period. We're still scoreless. First down at the 20. This is Kerry Drew tries to get the corner. Gets a couple of yards, and he's knocked out of bounds by Fred Marion.
Here's again, you know, they say we'll be banging straight ahead. We've been hitting straight ahead, trying to do other things, and now we got to try to get outside a little bit to loosen up the defense. And there was the first time they've run that kind of a pitch play for the I formation, and they get a little yardage on the play.
Remember the snow clearing incident at that time for the field goal? I think that was a release program where the guy came from your prison, Norfolk State.
Mark Henderson was his name. He had a full-time scholarship at the prison.
Second down and 6 for Tampa Bay. Big hole for William Howard, and he has a first down for the Buccaneers. Roland James and Fred Marion made the tackle, but it's enough for the first. Good comes out of the ball game along with Don Smith. First down at the 33. Clock continues to roll with 1:20 remaining in the half, and Tampa Bay goes to a passing formation. Testaverde to throw on first down. Has pressure. Throws to his tight end, Hall, and Hall breaks the tackle. He's up to the 48-yard line and knocked out of bounds there. Clock will stop with 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining in the half after that 16-yard gain.
Great illustration of the kind of arm strength of Testaverde. He gets a little pressure here. He throws it falling away, but look at Hall make the catch. He has to go back for it, and I really think this young tight end is very underrated. I think he's going to wind up being one of the outstanding tight ends in the National Football League. He's off to a great start, an excellent blocker, and a terrific pass receiver along with him.
That's his 36th catch of the year, Hank, and you're right. Of the second-year players, the tight ends, he's second only to Carr's Robert Awol. First down. Again, Tampa Bay runs the ball. They do it into New England territory this time. Lawrence McGrew makes the tackle on William Howard.
And that time they got a good block on 56, Andre Tippett.
And Tampa Bay wants a timeout now with the clock stopped at 53 seconds remaining in the half. We'll be back. Ray Perkins has just given the play that he wants to Vinny Testaverde. Testaverde comes back in now. It'll be second down and 4 for the Bucs. Vinny now 3 for 4 and 30 yards in the passing situation.
In a passing formation.
3-step drop. Testaverde looks to run. Now drills it across the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Don Smith. Well, he almost hit the big one. Knocked loose by Ronnie Lepet.
Here we see it the way the defense sees it. Looking at the quarterback, steps up into the pocket, tries to throw it inside, and is knocked down, incomplete. Good coverage on the play.
So it'll bring up third down and 4. Tampa now 2 for 7 on third down conversions. Out of the shotgun formation with 3 wide receivers. This time Testaverde has time. Tries to throw up top to Smith. Incomplete. Rod McSwain was there along with about 3 other defenders. Looked like they were in a zone and just converged on the football.
Yeah, they did. And I think the other thing is Smith ran it too much into the middle area. I think he had to stay closer to the hash mark, or to the numbers, I should say, to make sure he stayed away from the free safety or the safety man. But being a very inexperienced young receiver, that can very easily happen, especially this kind of day when the ball's floating around like it is up there now.
So with the clock stopped at 43 seconds remaining in the half, Ray Criswell comes back on now to punt for Tampa Bay on 4th and 4. Irving Fryer will be the return man if, in fact, they set up to return it. They may just let it hit. With nobody deep, the ball hits on the 5, takes a New England bounce and comes back and is down at the 9. So with 33 seconds left, Hank, New England now will be backed up.
And they didn't have anybody back there at all, and I'm sure they wanted to make sure that they didn't make any kind of a mistake before the half, fumble the ball, and provide the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with an opportunity to get an easy 3 or possibly a 7.
That was the 5th punt for Criswell this afternoon. That one a 36-yarder. And again, Eason is booed as he comes onto the field. Timeouts remaining. Tampa Bay has 2, New England 2. The wind is in his face. And it's a pretty stiff wind at that. And they'll just have the kneeling play and try to run timeout. Listen to the fans. They won't like that. That'll end the half.
And that's really the only intelligent thing to do with the weather like it is and the game the way it is.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the NFL Today with Brent, Irv, and Dick. They'll have all the scores and highlights for you. They'll also update you on the playoff situation as the first half here in New England comes to an end. See the snow in the background. We got a dusting last night. Minus 15 wind chill factor. And that's it. The end of the first half with the score. Tampa Bay nothing, New England nothing.
Well, the the cold weather impacting games around the country. At Soldier Field in Chicago, the Detroit Lions are sticking in there against Jim Harbaugh and the Bears, tied at 3. No question what the weather is doing as far as the ball handling is concerned. Here is Neil Anderson. He's out of the University of Florida. He coughs it up. The kickers are having trouble today, and so too are some of the centers on the hikes back, especially out of the shotgun formation. And Mike Ditka trying to stay warm on the Chicago sideline on a bitter, nasty day in December. Meanwhile, it is the Green Bay Packers upsetting Minnesota. And Dick Butkus, what's gone wrong with the Vikings today?
Well, we were talking on a pregame show about this great defense the Vikings have. So what do you do as an offense? Well, you got a guy like Keith Millard who can really move around. So what do? You run at him, try to negate his ability to go up and down the line of scrimmage. And they've been doing that. Short passes. But still, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold up in the second half against the Vikings. They're too tough to play this way.
Dick, let's illustrate some of those points. We have some highlights here. Now this was a pass play that worked against the Vikes. Why?
Well, here, I think you got to give some credit to the frozen ground, if it is indeed frozen, because the defensive back slipped there. Now, here's another case, Ben, what we were saying. They run right at him, and, geez, there was a nice hole there. Millard, I'm speaking of.
Right, and they tried again here.
All right, well, they tried again, but, you know, they really did a good job of stuffing the line, and here comes Browner to put the finishing stop on him. So it's tough going in there, you know, the weather and everything else. So.
All right, we'll see what happens in the second half. Let me run through some AFC scores for you. Houston over Cincinnati, rose 0 over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Buffalo and the Raiders, quite a few points for the nasty weather up in Buffalo there in the first half so far. Giants and Kansas City in the wind of the Meadowlands, it is 7-3. And now, Irv, we take a look at this one, and the Washington Redskins have lost a key player.
Yeah, you know, Darrell Green went out with a fractured hand, and of course, they'll miss him sorely. But the Cowboys' defense is playing very well today, and Steve Fleur has been able to take advantage of some weaknesses in that Redskins secondary with Darrell Green out.
Yeah, let's take a look at the highlights because the weather an issue in RFK. Tom Landry trying to stay warm, and here was a turnover.
Here's one of the defensive players I'm talking about. The Cowboys forced a turnover here on a reverse play, picked the ball up in pretty good field position with Michael Downs.
Then the big touchdown play from Fleur. Now, you know, watch how Irvin works his way back. He did this very well as a collegiate receiver. Gets himself open all the time, always trying to get free. Take a deep bow. He's not a bashful one either. All right, Tampa Bay and New England. And in New England, they're chanting, "We want Flutie. We want Flutie." Tony Eason was a starter. I want Flutie. We'll continue after these messages from your local stations.
We're all set for the second half at Foxborough, Massachusetts, Sullivan Stadium. Tampa Bay kicking off to New England. We're scoreless as we begin the next 15 minutes of this game. And the ball's kicked out of bounds, and the kicking game today has been atrocious.
It really is, and when you have a shortcoming in a kicking game, it's really exposed in an element game like this has turned out to be. The weather is definitely a factor, the cold and the wind and the whole thing. But if you have a problem with a kicking game, it really shows up and magnified to a great degree in this kind of a game.
2 missed field goals, the only scoring opportunities today. I want to show you a statistic that'll jump out at you. Look at this. 135 yards is what New England averages, and today just 24. Tony Eason does start the second half for New England. Pryor comes to the bottom of the screen. Stanley Morgan to the top as you look at Eason. On first down at the 35-yard line. Stevens and Perryman are in the backfield, and New England jumps. Ben Dreif is the referee today, and I would suspect that this cold weather is causing
start number 81, offense 5 yards, first down.
the lapse in concentration. It was Russ Francis who jumped off. And a lot of times that can be caused by the cold weather.
Well, you're so concerned about being cold, more so than you are what you have to do during the course of the football game, and that boils down to concentration. Stevens has carried the ball 9 times for -1 yard.
Now, in the first 7 games, he averaged 12 carries per game. The last 7, he's averaged 25, and they've gone 5 and 2 over that span. First down and 15 for Eason. Throws this one complete to his tight end, Francis, and Francis is out to the 38-yard line. Tackle made by Eugene Marv.
Francis has really been a great tight end in the National Football League. Here we see him coming off the ball on an inside release. The tight end tries to jam him. He's right in the middle area, makes the catch, makes sure that he holds onto the ball and picks up good yardage on the play.
That's his 9th catch of the year. He's a 13-year veteran, 35-year-old out of Oregon. 2nd down and 7 at the 38 for Eason. And again, he's going to throw. And again, he's complete. This one will be a yard shy of the 1st down to Perryman out of the backfield.
And I'm sure the strategy is they haven't been able to make good yardage on 1st and 10 running the football, so they're going to use a kind of a possession, kind of a passing game, and get 4 or 5 or 6 yards with a passing game and get it done that way and move the chains with the short passing game.
That'll also silence some of the people that have been booing. He was 3 for 8 for 26 yards. Now he's hit 2 passes in a row. 3rd down and 1. The ball at the 44 for New England. 1st down, Patriots. So the offense picks up some rhythm.
And that's the
Perryman, who has that sore foot, Hank, has the 1st down.
And that's the word, Timmy, when you said rhythm, that Tony Eason kept talking about yesterday. He said, I just don't know what my rhythm is going to be like once I get into the game. He said, it's totally different in practice than it is when somebody's chasing in. You get in a rush and you got to throw over the top of people. Maybe he's starting to get some of that rhythm back.
It'll be 1st down, the ball at the 46 for New England. That's Perryman in motion, and again, Eason wants to throw. Swings it out to John Stevens. And Stevens picks up a tough 4 yards, knocked out of bounds by Mark Robinson. Robinson missed 2 games with a thigh bruise this year. He had the key interception last week to kill the Bills' final threat against Tampa Bay. He's a 5'11", 200-pound, 5-year veteran out of Penn State.
And that defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has really greatly improved. They've added some outstanding young players: Reuben Davis, Kurt Jarvis, Big Goff, Kevin Murphy, Randall, and Moss, all young linebackers and defensive linemen. They're doing a terrific job.
2nd down and 6 for Eason. Backside pressure. He has it complete to Francis. Francis out to the 47-yard line in Tampa Bay territory.
And that's exactly what they're trying to get done. They say, let's abandon the run and let's move the chains with a short passing game. So far, it's been very successful.
And Eason now, you talked about that rhythm, Hank. He really seems to have found it. He's starting to get in the groove.
Well, I think it's good. It's a good psychology, too, to have him throw some short passes with the idea that he will complete the passes, which will give him confidence and help the rhythm.
3rd down and 2. 6 defensive backs for Tampa Bay. Shotgun formation for the Patriots with 4 wideouts. This ball is complete to the 35-yard line. Irving Pryor made the catch. And now Eason is 5 for 5 in the 2nd half. Rod Jones made the tackle. Eason prides himself in not turning the ball over.
He's a good reader, but he's looking at the receivers all the way. He doesn't look one way and get back to the other side. Looks at Pryor all the way, gets the ball to him right between the 8 and the 0, and it's another good reception on the play.
Pryor's the leading receiver with 32 catches for New England. Gain of 12. It'll be 1st down at the 34. Perryman gets a tough 3 yards off the left side this time. Mark Robinson made the tackle there. It is some kind of cold here, but they've got the heater working underneath that Tampa Bay bench, and that'll help a little bit.
It's going to be hard to push those players off that bench once they get comfortable. If they stay there too long, they're going to have to shove them into the game.
2nd down and 8, the ball on the 32. Again, Eason wants to throw. Does up top. That ball almost intercepted by Harry Hamilton. It was intended for Irving Pryor. Hamilton has 4 interceptions. That's a career high for him.
And it looked like that ball hung a little bit too, Tim. It didn't look like it got far enough. And there again, every time he throws a ball like that down the field, why you wonder whether or not it's because of the thumb or because it's the wind. Look at the hit he gets after the play. Make a sandwich out of him. Gets double dipped there by Murphy and Winston Moss, 57-59.
On third down and 8, 3 wide receivers for New England. Rod Jones and Donnie Elder come in as defensive backs for Tampa Bay. A lot of pressure on Eason, and he scrambles out inside the 30 and slides down to the 24-yard line. Now a lot of those people that were booing stand and clap.
It changes in a hurry, doesn't it?
10 minutes and 10 seconds remain in the third period.
But Raymond Berry made a point again. He said, you know, people forget that Eason was our starting quarterback. Grogan has been our starting quarterback, and while they were hurt, we started Doug Flutie. But we still feel that all three of them can be number one quarterbacks, but we think that Eason and Grogan are ahead from an offensive standpoint, knowing our system and knowing all the details. We're more flexible with those two at quarterback than Flutie. That's the reason.
Gain of 10 puts the ball at the 22. First down for New England. Play action for Eason, who throws this ball to a wide-open Stevens at the 15-yard line. Stevens with a second effort down to the 13. Eugene Marv and Irvin Randall made the tackle there.
Stevens did a great job of kind of sifting through the line, finding the open area. Eason caught him, hit him with the pass, and of course he made good yardage on the play after the catch.
Stevens, 6'1", 220-pounder. Although he's been losing weight over the last couple of weeks, and his weight now is down to 214. Carried the ball 31 times last week. Second down and 1. Perryman has the first down for New England. Irvin Randall trips him up.
You know, talking about Stevens, it's amazing that as well as he's run, rushed over 1,000 yards going into this game, that the longest run from scrimmage all year long by the New England Patriots, 22 yards.
Hank, do you think it's a little bit surprising that he's lost 15 pounds here late in the season when most guys, when it gets cold, start putting the weight on?
That is surprising. Yeah, it really is. Because you're right, because they usually get pumped up a little bit once the weather starts to change.
But they say it's nothing serious, that he is healthy. First down, the ball at the 11. Pro set for New England. Tampa Bay jumps, flags fly. This pass is to Perryman inside the 10. We'll wait and see what the flag's all about, but it looks as if Tampa Bay jumped.
Defense offside, number 59. 5 yards. First down.
59 is Kevin Murphy. Sounds like Ben Bright's tongue's starting to freeze up on him, too. I know the feeling up here.
Yeah, exactly right.
So they'll march it down inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. And Ray Perkins is obviously concerned. Second penalty for Tampa Bay. Deepest penetration of the afternoon for either team.
Russ Francis tells a great story on Perkins. When he was an assistant coach here, he was signed. He's drafted number 1. Talking about Francis, why he came into town expecting a lot of hoopla about the signing and a lot of press media people. When he walked in the door, he was introduced to Ray Perkins. Ray says, "Follow me." Took him downstairs, got him dressed, took him out in the blocking machine, got some clothes on him, and he blocked out there teaching him blocking techniques, and the snow was on the ground. He said, "Was I surprised?"
Ben Dreith calls for the officials up in the booth to reset the clock to 7:56. So they do that, and now it moves down inside the 7:40 mark, third period. First and goal at the 5 for New England. Perryman, right side. Touchdown, New England. So after some 37 minutes in this football game, we finally have some points on the board.
And in critical situations, they're going to run right over Bruce Armstrong. good hole there and popped it right in there for the touchdown.
Starowski on for the extra point. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it's good.
Watch the takeoff. Francis is a tight end. Look at the blocking at the point of attack, especially by the right tackle, Armstrong. And Perryman goes right in there for the touchdown.
This was the worst rushing team in the league in 1986. Farrell, Perryman, and Stevens have helped greatly changing that. Now the Pats rank 6th in the league. This stadium is rocking now, and I think people just needed that score to get up out of their seats. And that guy right there is sick. Or he will be.
He'll be in a hospital. Better call the fire department for him.
Teddy Garcia kicks off for New England. Donnie Elder takes it for Tampa Bay, and he is nailed at the 19-yard line. A 14-yard return. Mosi Tutupu made the tackle.
Here we
Next Saturday, the Washington Redskins against the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati struggling right now. Boomer Esiason, the NFL's top-rated quarterback, leads the Bengals as they try to secure that home field advantage. And, of course, the Redskins are just fighting for their lives. 7:26 remain in the third period here in New England. 7-0. And Tampa Bay now just trying to jam it straight ahead. Garen Barris made the tackle. After that Cincinnati-Washington game next week, DePaul and Georgetown college basketball. And the Hoyas, although the opponents haven't been very strong, as is John Thompson's way in Georgetown, the Hoyas have looked awfully strong.
Year in and year out, they always are strong, aren't they? They're a terrific program.
Season premiere of college basketball on CBS, DePaul and Georgetown. Second down and 9. The ball is at 20 now for Tampa Bay. William Howard gets back to the 20, and that's it. Again, Garen Barris, who's making an impact in this game now, really tagged him.
And it looked like the defense, they were playing well before, but they're really all fired up now. Now that they got 7 points, they're going to do everything they possibly can. They get good field position so they can get some more scores.
New England scoring drive, 65 yards, 12 plays. It took 7 minutes and 24 seconds. Eason was 6 for 7 in passing on that drive. Third down and 9 from the 20 for Testaverde. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers, 6 defensive backs for New England, and Testaverde wants a timeout. So with 6 minutes and 1 second remaining in the third period, it's 7-0 Patriots. 7-0 New England with 6 minutes remaining in the third period. It's third down and 9 for Tampa Bay. 3 wide receivers for the Bucs and 6 defensive backs for New England. Testaverde underthrows Jeff Smith, and the Buccaneers will have to punt.
You know, funny thing, before the game, I went down to the field, and here was Testaverde on the field in just a T-shirt. And I asked him, you know, why he was out there dressed like that. He said, I just want to get myself psyched up and ready for this cold weather. It doesn't look like it worked.
Well, not yet anyway. Ray Criswell's the punter. Low snap. And his punt's going to hit the wind and almost stop. Fryer makes a nice cut, gets a block. He's inside the 20. And knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line. A 23-yard punt by Criswell and a 26-yard return by Irving Fryer.
Here we see Fryer keeping his eye on the ball, makes the catch, breaks into a gap. How he got through all those people, hard to believe. A great block down the field. And there he finally pushed out of bounds, but he makes 26 yards on the return.
Tampa Bay's been outscored in the third quarter this year, 78-41. First down and 10 from the 18-yard line. This is Perryman. Big hole down to the 12-yard line. Robert Perryman finally stopped by Harry Hamilton. And for Hamilton, that's his 100th tackle of the year. First Buck defensive back since Mark Cotney back in 1980 to go over the 100 tackles in a season. He did have 113 tackles for the Jets, Hamilton did, back in 1986.
Excuse me, here's the takeoff from the line of scrimmage. Good hole, good seam, good running. And look at the way he follows through with a run. Knocks Hamilton straight back on his backside on the run.
Second down and 3 from the 11. Again, it's Perryman, and he may have lost a yard that time. Kurt Jarvis had great penetration from his nose tackle position.
He got through that gap and right in that area quickly. That's the way you're going to stop that kind of a play. It's kind of a read play where he hits and reads the open cavity. Jarvis popped through there, got the penetration, and made the tackle.
This is how New England scored. The first time around, they had the same type of field position, and they capitalized. Eason got the hot hand. It's third down and 4. New England 5 for 10 on third down conversions today.
Well, look at all the run on the left side, all the room on the left side to the left receiver.
Eason looks.
Intercepted.
This is Harry Hamilton. Back to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6, and look at Eason. The Tupu tipped it.
Here you see it from a defensive viewpoint again. It's tipped and intercepted by Hamilton. Big play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have possession on the 6.
That's Hamilton's 5th interception of the year. 4 minutes, 14 seconds remain, third period. Tampa Bay is minus 19 in the giveaway takeaway ratio, but over the last 5 games, they're plus 1. So they've really turned this thing around, and now with their second interception of the afternoon, they give the offense a chance here, and William Howard breaks it big out across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and he's finally taken down by Roland James.
There was a bad mesh between Howard and the quarterback on the play. It looks like the defense thought it was going to be a busted play. There was a blitz going on the play. The linebacker vacated the area, Rempert, and he goes right through there and picks up a big gain. And here we see it as it happened. Look at it, gets a piece, runs right into the quarterback, Testaverde. Rempert was blitzing on the play. A big cavity where he left open as he blitzed. And Howard goes through there and up the field for a first down.
Gain of 20. It'll be first down and 10. The ball on the 27-yard line for Tampa Bay. Straight ahead to Kerry Good. Kerry Good gets back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, one thing, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they've had the ball 14 times on first and 10 situations. They've averaged 2.9 per carry, and have only thrown one pass. That was for 16 yards. And all the other times they've run the ball. They've got to run or throw the ball and throw play-action passes on first and 10 as they get up the field.
You may have seen Andre Tippett get his temper raised a little bit, push a couple of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers away, push William Howard. It'll be second down and 9, the ball on the 28 for the Buccaneers. Pro set for Testaverde. Testaverde rolls right, now throws wide open as Carrier. In New England territory, goes out of bounds at the 44-yard line, but Carrier was wide open.
And I talked to Carrier about the weather in Chicago. He had a bad day, dropped, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 balls. And he said, I just wasn't prepared for the bad weather, but I'll be ready for the weather today. Here's Testaverde rolling out, goes back into the pocket, looks, decides to roll. There's a lot of room, and he finally spots Carrier down the field, gives him a good lead, a beautiful lead, but he makes the catch and runs out of bounds.
So a gain by 20 for Howard, a gain of 28 for Carrier, and it's first down at the 44-yard line. This is Kerry Good. Good inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Kerry Good's had it rough this afternoon, and he's playing in the place of Lars Tate, who was out with a hamstring injury.
And talking to Tate before the game, he said, I don't think I can play. I maybe can play if I have to. He's got a bad hamstring, and so I'm sure we won't see him. They don't want to take a chance of hurting him any more than he is right now.
Of the Tampa Bay running backs, Tate, Good, and Howard are all rookies. It'll be second down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Under 2 minutes to play now in the third period. That's a major surprise. 10-3 Dallas over Washington. Two tight ends for Tampa Bay. Testaverde to throw, three-step drop across the middle and has it complete. Frank Pillow has his 14th catch of the year, a gain of 12.
And that's the kind of a pass Testaverde likes to throw, the quick slant, likes to throw it. He's got the size and throws the ball high release. That ball is perfect for Testaverde. And they ought to come right back here again, Timmy, and throw in a pass on 1st and 10. Maybe a play action on 1st and 10.
Testaverde was 12 for 29 and 156 yards last week. No interceptions. Made good decisions. First down at the 32. Two tight ends. And now a whistle and a flag. Boy, Andre Tippett was coming hard, and Testaverde put his hands up and said, hey, wait a minute. Whistle blew.
And he still gave him a little shot, even at that. Tippett did.
Tippett and Howard have words again.
Number 72, offense, 5 yards.
That's Rob Taylor. Third penalty for Tampa Bay as Rob Taylor gets called.
And Rob Taylor, you know, was playing left tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and had to use a left-handed stance naturally over there. They moved him to right tackle. Now we use the right-handed stance. He's made the adjustment and is playing extremely well. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the first time have really had two outstanding young offensive tackles in Taylor and Group.
Let's keep an eye on Andre Tippett and William Howard. They've gone nose-to-nose twice already in this drive. First down and 15 at the 37 for Testaverde. Testaverde throws to Howard, and Howard to the 37-yard line. Ed Reynolds makes the tackle, but again, Andre Tippett came with a lot of pressure. He's the sack leader.
We get a shot here at Tippett. Look at over number 50, Turk. Runs right over the top of Turk. Gets penetration, gets good pressure on Testaverde, but in spite of that, Testaverde, because of his size, was able to see well downfield and get rid of the football.
Tippett, 6'3", 241-pounder out of Iowa. He has 7 sacks on the year as the third period comes to an end. It's 7-0 Patriots. We have 15 minutes remaining in the ball game. We pause now for a word from your local stations. Playing. He's all bundled up like he's going to sit it out. That's Vinny Testaverde. This will be the 7th play of the drive coming up for Tampa. It started on the Buccaneers' 7. Howard got him out of the hole, and then a pass to Carrier for a 20-yard gain, and it'll be second down and 14 here from the 36.
And it should be a little easier to throw the ball. He's got the wind, so that should help him. He's been throwing into the wind.
Now the wind is at his back. Carrier and Pillow come to the bottom of the screen. 3 wide receivers now. Howard is the lone setback for Tampa Bay. This one is across the middle. Pillow has it inside the 25. They'll mark it at the 23-yard line.
And there again, another slant pattern.
It'll be about 2 yards short of the first down. Ronnie Lepet tripped him up, but it's a gain of 12. Third down and 2 coming up. Donnie Smith comes out of the ball game now for Tampa Bay.
We got 2 yards to slam it in there and get the first down.
2 tight ends as Parks comes back in to join Hall. Third down and 2. This is William Howard. He's not going to make it. And again, there's some pushing and shoving going on. Well, that'll bring up 4th down and short, and the way the kicking game's been going, I would suspect he'll try to go for it.
I would think so. I would think he'd go for it. But it doesn't look like he is. He's going to have him try the field goal.
John Carney missed a 41-yarder earlier in the ball game with 3:27 remaining in the first period. Tampa Bay now trails by a touchdown here.
And here again, the old rule of thumb, a yard or more, you're going to kick the field goal. Less than that, you're going to go for it. Evidently, that's what Ray feels about this situation.
This is also a 41-yard attempt, and somebody jumped. If it's against New England, it'll be a first down, Tampa Bay.
Looks like McGrew, number 50, unless it was drawn offside.
That's a big play for the Buccaneers if it's against New England. Well, look at this. New England says it's going against Tampa, and Tampa says it's going against New England. Bottom line is they'll move the Buccaneers back. Delay of game against the Buccaneers. Well, the clock expired before they jumped, so delay a game against Tampa. They move it back. And that'll just make it that much more difficult for Carney.
The only advantage now is at least he's got the wind at his back.
Yeah, but now it's a 46-yard attempt. Well, he got the distance, and it's good. But there's another flag. So we'll wait and see what that is all about. And it's going to be against Tampa Bay.
Boy, that's murder. 2 penalties in a row. And now it'll be tough with this field position like it
On
is.
the offense on the kicking team, number 56, tripping.
Number 56 is Jackie Walker.
You don't see that call very often, do you?
No, but it's a 10-yard penalty.
We'll take a look at it here. To our left side, 50.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I don't think there's any question about it. He put his left foot out and tried to trip him.
Oh, I don't know, Hank. That looked to me like he was just kind of pushed and that foot dragged behind him.
No, I don't think so. I think he definitely tried to, of course, his foot was out there and looked like he definitely tried to trip him as he went by the inside.
Doesn't matter now. It's a moot point. Criswell has to punt. This is a wobbly punt that'll be taken by Pryor at the 10. And the fair catch is made there. So they take the 3 points off the board, and the 29-yard punt puts the ball on the 10. Tampa Bay drove from their own 7-yard line to the New England 24. Then the Bucs had 2 penalties, 15 yards. They had to take a field goal off the board because of one of those penalties. They punted, and with 13 minutes remaining in the ball game, New England now has it first down at the 10. This is Perryman to the 14-yard line. 12 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the ball game, and it's 7-0 Pats. Good look at Russ Francis, the old San Francisco 49er.
I guarantee you, San Francisco would love to have him back right now at this time of the season.
Well, especially with this game coming up. Doubleheader day. Game 2 for you has New Orleans against the 49ers, and that's for the NFC West Championship. Second down and 7 straight ahead, close to a first down for New England. And Stevens has his longest run of the afternoon.
And it looked like he might have been able to make it more yardage had he not been so concerned about keeping the ball covered and not fumbling the ball.
Stevens came into this game with well over 1,000 yards, and yet he never had a long run from scrimmage this year.
And the other thing, I don't think he's been challenged as far as the passing game is concerned, Timmy. I think he's going to be an excellent pass receiver along with the great running he's done.
His longest run of the year, 22 yards. Perryman off the right side this time. Gets back to the line of scrimmage.
I talked to Phil Kruger at halftime, and who works for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he works in the front office with personnel, and he said this is the best cold weather game we've ever played in the history of the franchise.
Brings up 4th down and 1. New England will have to punt. There's Bobby Futrell. He backs up to the 46-yard line. Jeff Beagles will be punting for New England. He has a 38-yard average, but he also has the NFL's longest punt of the year, 74 yards, and had a 66-yarder in the first half of this game. This goes straight up, and the wind will knock it straight backwards. Now it gets a roll to the 42-yard line. That ball went straight up, and the wind just knocked it down.
It sure did. And this is a great advantage for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're going to have they got to win in the fourth quarter.
23-yard punt. New England scored on its first possession of the second half. Eason was 6 for 7 on that drive. Each team missed a field goal. Tampa Bay from 41 yards out. New England from 36 yards out. Stevens, 5 yards rushing. That's pretty much the story of this game, Hank Stram. It's 7-0 Patriots.
And it's a great compliment to both defenses, but especially the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're doing a terrific job defensively. Now they have good field position. They've got the wind. They've got to throw the ball, as I mentioned, more on 1st and 10 situations on this drive.
This is the touchdown by Perryman.
Slams right in there for the touchdown. A good cavity to the right side, and that's where they like to run.
10 minutes and 46 seconds remain in the ball game. 7-0 New England. First down at the 43 now for Tampa Bay. Flags fly everywhere. Looks like Garen Barris came across early for New England.
Half start number 74 on the offense.
Well, he was drawn on by Paul Gruber, the rookie.
The 3 costly penalties. They've been in good field position on all 3 occasions, and they have 3 costly penalties that take them out of that good range.
Well, for Gruber, that's really an unusual situation. You know, in the first 6 NFL games he ever played, he was beaten for a sack just once and flagged for just 1 5-yard illegal procedure penalty. That's it. That's unusual for a rookie. He is mistake-free. First down, 15. At the 48-yard line for Testaverde. With pressure, and he's sacked. Brandt Williams with his 7th sack of the year.
And here we see Brandt Williams getting the penetration. Watch him on the left side there, number 96, coming right up the middle. Turk, the right guard, was trying to block him, but he escaped the block and got the penetration and got the sack.
A loss of 7. Williams, 6'3", 278-pounder out of Toledo. He had a fumble recovery and a sack last week. He's really starting to play well. It's a loss of 7. It'll be 2nd and 22. 3 wide receivers for the Buccaneers. Again, there's pressure. Testaverde throws this one, and that was a dangerous pass, incomplete. Intended for Ron Hall, and I thought for a moment that one was going to be intercepted.
Tippett got good penetration again. He's a tremendous player, as everybody knows, but he's very strong along with him. Look at this, 16-3, Green Bay over Minnesota.
How about Houston, 24-3 over Cincinnati, and that doesn't bode well for the New England Patriots. Now, that playoff scenario for New England is this. The Patriots have to win their final 2 games. This one today against the Buccaneers and next week against Denver. And Houston has to lose 2, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Or New England has to win both their games, and Cleveland has to lose once. 3rd down and 22, the ball on the 45. Shotgun formation for the Bucs. Testaverde throws this one incomplete, almost intercepted. It was intended for Frank Pillow.
And it hit Claiborne, it looked like, and he didn't even see the ball. It hit him right in the shoulder pad.
What did he tell you yesterday?
Yeah, well, yesterday, you know what happened? It's a funny thing, because yesterday he said, you know, I should have about 5 more interceptions. I just haven't caught the ball. There was another illustration of it, but that time I don't think he even saw the ball. The ball hit him in the shoulder pads, and he didn't look like he saw it.
Ray Criswell to punt for Tampa Bay. And Irving Fryer, number 80, is standing on his own 22, and he's already had a big return today. This punt with the wind is low. It'll be taken by Fryer in full steam. Fryer ran out of bounds, but there is a flag, and it's going to be clipping, I believe, against New England. We'll wait and see.
he's a dangerous punt returner because, you know, he's got a long stride and he's very deceptive. Once he gets a step on you, he's gone.
Well, I tell you, you don't want a guy with that kind of speed, though, taking a punt on the dead run.
Illegal block on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, and it's first down, and it's a timeout.
So with 9 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the ball game, New England still leads by 7. The weather is starting to change here now in New England as the wind has picked up. You can see it's gone from 15 below zero wind chill to 23 below zero wind chill. 9:45 remaining in the ball game at 7-0 Patriots. On first down, this is Mosi Tatupu to the 27-yard line. Right now, let's go to New York. Brent Musburger has this report on Green Bay, Minnesota. Brent?
Tim, it could be the big upset of the day. The Minnesota Vikings perhaps looking ahead to Chicago, and Green Bay sneaking up on them as Patrick Scott is into the end zone, but they missed the extra point. Now 16-3, back to Tim.
All right, Brent, it'll be 2nd down and 5 here from the 28-yard line for New England as they go to the I-Pro set. Now split. Eason pitches back to Perryman, and he's tripped up almost immediately. Great play by Mark Robinson out of his strong safety position. And again, there's some pushing and shoving. No flags.
Surprising, John Stevens, number 44, involved in that fracas. He got a good block that time on a linebacker, too.
Sammy Martin comes into the ball game for the first time this afternoon for New England. He's a wide receiver.
Look at this on first down. First half, New England 1.6. Second half, and 5.3 in the second half. Great improvement.
On 3rd and 5, Perryman cuts back, big hole. First down, New England.
You know, that's the thing about staying with something. They stayed with the plan. They threw the ball. There's a penalty on the play, however, but they threw the ball a little bit to open up the defense, and now they're running again. But you got to remember that there's 4 quarters in the game, and even though they might slow you down a little bit in 1 or 2, it might mean that you're going to open some big holes if you stay with it.
That's a 10-yard penalty, and it's 3rd down.
It was holding against Paul Fairchild. Now, Fairchild is in the ball game replacing Ron Wooten, who went out with a sprained left knee. Wooten, of course, is the only offensive lineman starter from the Pat Super Bowl year of 1985, and Fairchild replaces him, and he's nabbed for holding. That's the 3rd penalty for New England. It'll be 3rd down and 15.
And in spite of what's happened here this afternoon, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just 1 play from being back in the game.
6 defensive backs for the Buccaneers now, as Eason from the shotgun formation on 3rd and 15 throws underneath to Dupart, and Dupart's not going to get the first down. He's not even going to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
The way he was hit, he's lucky to be able to get up.
Tackle was made by Donnie Elder and Ricky Reynolds. And now New England will have to punt. You're right. Tampa Bay's going to get good field position, and they're very much in this ballgame.
Well, they've had good field position, Timmy. Their only problem is they haven't been able to take advantage of it, and they hurt themselves. Everything's been self-inflicted with the penalties.
Saw Bobby Futrell of Tampa Bay. He'll be standing on the 45-yard line. Jeff Eagles is back to punt, and he's punting into a heavy wind. Again, the high punt, but the wind will knock it down. It hit the Tampa Bay player. Ball's loose. Buccaneers say they got it. If they did, it's a break.
And they wind up with about 5 or 6 more extra yards on what happened on the play.
It's a 30-yard punt. Tampa Bay gets it back. And because the wind knocked it down, it came down and hit some of the blockers. And, of course, it hit a Tampa Bay guy who was on the ground. 6 minutes minutes and 48 seconds remain in the ball game from Foxborough. It's still 7-0 Patriots.
Now we see Donnie Elder, number 40. He'll get hit. The ball will hit him. He's on the ground. He doesn't know where the ball is. It ricochets off of him, and Ricky Reynolds, fortunately for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, makes the recovery, and they still have it. There he is, Ricky Reynolds, number 29 on the bottom of the pot, comes up with the ball.
The key was the wind just knocked it straight down, and they had no clue where it was. First down and 10 from the 49-yard line for Tampa Bay. Excellent field position with 6 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the ball game. Howard breaks out of the pile to the 44-yard line of New England. Stop made by Fred Marion.
They've got plenty of time to be patient. And they've got to get points on the scoreboard. They've got to get 7.
This New England defense, the only one in the league without a defensive coordinator, has held opponents to 10 points or less in 5 games this year, and all 5 were wins for New England. Second down and 4. Howard pulls his way inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Tonight on CBS, the question is, how did a former beauty queen and model get to be the toughest judge in Florida? Well, find out tonight on 60 Minutes. And on the 6th season premiere of Kate and Alley, Dick Butkus plays himself, as only Dick Butkus can, as a sportscaster for CBS Sports.
I'd love to see that.
That's all tonight on CBS. William Howard carrying tacklers inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. And oh, is he impressive. Roland James and Fred Marion make the tackle. Hank, when are you going to play yourself in one of those series?
Whenever they give me a shot.
Waiting in the wings. But Howard now.
Let everybody know soon enough so they can get the tomatoes and stuff. Get ready to throw it.
I was going to say William Howard now has 22 carries, and he's close to 100 yards. And this time he gets nothing. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. But he'll be close to a first down.
Big collision there at the point of attack.
That's where they mark it. He's awfully close to that marker. Ed Reynolds and Garen Barris made the tackle. He's bundled up, but that's Raymond Berry. You didn't identify him right away. Now 23 below wind chill factor here. William Howard shaken up, and he's coming off the field. And he's been the instrumental part of this drive. First down at the 25. Testaverde throws. Intercepted. Roland James makes the interception inside the 10-yard line. And for Testaverde, that ties the NFC interception record of 32 set by Brandt Tarkenton.
That was tough. There were 3 people in that area. I'm surprised that he threw the ball and tried to get it into that spot, and he was hurt on the play. It looks like he's a little concerned about his knee. Here we see it again from a defensive standpoint. Marion dropping into the middle area. The ball is thrown. Look at the reaction. And Testaverde is hit from the backside. You don't see that, but here we see it right here. There he is. He gets hit. And watch now. Watch what happens. Look, he goes back. There's some pain there. Barris hits him number 60.
4th interception of the year for Roland James. First down New England. The ball at the 8. Perriman cuts back to the 10 to the 11-yard line. Eugene Marv and Urban Randall made the tackle. We'll try to get you an update on the injury to both William Howard and Vinny Testaverde as soon as possible.
You know, that kind of a play, when you have the opportunity, that really is tough from the whole team standpoint, because the kids have been playing hard, playing good football, but that kind of a throw really surprising because he had no chance to make the completion.
2nd and 6 from the 12. Perriman to the 13-yard line.
City creeping up on the Giants. Uh-oh, Dallas and Washington now 17-17.
If Washington loses that game, they're out of it. And if they win, their hopes of getting into the playoffs are still slim. They need a lot of help. 3rd down and 5 from the 13. Shotgun formation for Eason. 6 defensive backs for Tampa Bay. Eason throws and almost has it intercepted. Ricky Reynolds had a hand on it. He had an interception last week, and I thought he had that one.
He looked like he had a good shot at that one, Timmy, but it bounced out of there. And again, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should come out of here with good field position.
Nonetheless, Reynolds gets credit for the breakup. He has 20 this year, and that's a record passes defense for the Bucs. It was set back in 1980 by Curtis Jordan, and that ties the record for passes broken up as Jeff Beagles will punt it away. He's standing about 2 yards into his end zone and steps out. A lot of pressure. Futrell fair catches it at the 41-yard line. 28-yard punt. Vinny Testaverde comes back into the ball game for Tampa Bay. 2 minutes and 47 seconds remain. It's 7-0 New England. Patriots have 3 timeouts left. Tampa Bay has 2. Excellent field position for the Buccaneers. They need to have a drive here.
The one thing, they haven't done all afternoon is move the pocket any at all, talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from a passing standpoint.
Testaverde drills this one over the middle to Carrier, and it's complete inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Again, a reminder that in the 4th quarter, Tampa Bay has outscored its opponents 104 to 54. Gain of 26 on that play.
Well, they've got plenty of time. They've had opportunities. They've got to get the ball in here.
This has been the big quarter for the Buccaneers. It's 1st down at the 15 as we approach the 2-minute mark. Again, Testaverde to throw. Has to be careful. Carrier, touchdown, Tampa Bay.
That popped wide open. Looked like he ran right out of the bleachers, right out of the tunnel. Carrier wide open on the play. Testaverde, right after that interception, came right back and hit 2 big shots.
Testaverde looked like he was putting on a jacket before the ball even got to Carrier.
Boy, what a great drive.
So John Carney is on for the extra point. He has been erratic. It's up, and it's good. So with 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the ball game, we're tied at 7.
Well, we got a contest. We've got a contest, and that's the nice thing about this young team. They've hung in there all afternoon with some of the bad things that happened to them. Now they're right back in business. Coming right at us here now. We'll get a look at it. The last touchdown, a 3-step drop. Testaverde goes back into the pocket, delivers it right over the top. Carrier, Rempert is, I can't imagine, Rempert is going back into the area. He certainly wasn't trying to cover him on the play. Somebody must have blew the cover. Something had to happen to have him that open in the end zone for the touchdown.
This game is all important for New England. That drive, 41 yards, 2 plays, 38 seconds. Testaverde to Carrier for 26 yards.
Now the big thing now is they have to do a good job of covering this kick and keeping him down at the other end of the field.
John Carney will be kicking off for Tampa Bay. The return men for New England, Sammy Martin and Elgin Davis. Martin has run one back for a touchdown. That was a 95-yarder. He's 3rd in the AFC with an average of 24 yards per return.
He's got 4.4 speed. He can fly.
Carney's kick with the wind behind it. Back to the 4. This is Elgin Davis. And Davis is spun down at the 22. A return of 20 hit by Donnie Smith. So with the 2-minute warning, we'll take a timeout. We're tied at 7. We're at Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Tim Brandt and Hank Stram with you. And if you're just joining us, we're tied at 7 with 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. We had a scoreless first half, 2 missed field goals, 1 each by each team. Robert Perryman then scored from 6 yards out for New England in the third period. Eason was 6 for 7 on that drive, and then Tampa Bay just scored. Vinny Testaverde to Carrier, and Eason started in place of Doug Flutie today, and he gets booed again as he comes out onto the field. Bold move by that man, Raymond Berry, who's trying to gear up for the playoffs, but Flutie has led this team to a 6-3 record over the last couple of months. Shotgun formation on first down. Thrown underneath, and it's completed to the 28-yard line to Robert Perryman. Chris Washington made the tackle. It'll be second down and 4 from the 29. Shotgun formation again. Eason now in trouble, and he's going to be sacked. That'll get the boos going. Robert Goff with the tackle. 6'3", 270-pound rookie out of Auburn. They call him Pig. And Tampa Bay wants a timeout. They have 1 remaining.
He asked about why he was called Pig, and he said, my older brother called me that. I don't know why he did, but it's stuck, and everybody calls me Pig now. He said, when they call me Robert, I don't even know who they're talking to.
He says it's no problem being called Pig, except when he's introduced to girls, and they give him a funny look. Wears a necklace that says Pig Man. Timeouts remaining. Tampa Bay has 1, New England 3. 1 minute, 33 seconds remain in regulation. We're tied at 7. 23 below 0 wind chill factor. And New England has to win this game and next week's game to have a shot at the playoffs. And they need some help. Cleveland has to lose 1 or Houston lose 2. And Houston's winning today. It's third down and 12 from the 21-yard line. Again, shotgun formation for the Pats. Here comes the pressure on Eason. Throws to Ducard. Ducard steps out of bounds way short of the first down. He'll be about 8 yards short, and they'll have to punt. Jeff Feagles comes on for New England. He'll punt the ball into the wind, and Bobby Futrell is deep for Tampa Bay. Now the wind is blowing, and it's blowing in Feagles' face. The last couple of punts have been knocked down, and they've been short.
For that reason, they won't try to block it, I'm sure. They don't want to take a chance to hit the kicker. They won't expect to get a good return.
High spiraling punt. Boy, he booms this one, and Futrell will let it hit. I'm not sure if Futrell wanted any parts of it. A 43-yard punt. No return. Coming up next Saturday on CBS, Boomer Esiason, the NFL's top-rated quarterback, leads the Cincinnati Bengals as they try to secure the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Bengals are losing today, and the Redskins are 17-17 with Dallas, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. That all starts on the NFL Today at 12 noon Eastern, right here on CBS next week. That'll be followed by the NCAA college basketball premiere on CBS, DePaul and Georgetown. First down for Testaverde. Throws this one to Carrier, and Carrier breaks the tackle at midfield, and he is into New England territory. Tackle made by Fred Marriott. You see the clock.
Testaverde throws that inside pattern like Namath used to throw it. Beautifully, right on the money.
That's the last timeout.
Gain of 21, and they lost a lot of time before calling that timeout.
You know what he should have done, Timmy? He should have gone to the referee before the play and said, listen, if it's a long, completed pass down the field, I'm going to call timeout, so be with me. And he would have saved an awful lot of time on the play, but he didn't do that, and as a result, a lot of time clicked off the clock.
59 seconds remain in the ball game. Tampa Bay does not have a timeout. Why didn't they just step up and throw it out of bounds? Because they will need that timeout. A field goal wins this ball game.
That's right. And it takes 18 seconds to get the kicking team on the field. You don't have a timeout if you don't stop the clock.
Carrier has been the hot receiver. 4 catches, 90 yards. Caught the touchdown pass in the last possession for Tampa Bay. First down, the ball at the 49. Testaverde with pressure. Steps up into the pocket, and he's sacked. Brandt Williams got there first, his second sack of the day. He now has 8 for the year.
Andre Tippett, number 56, was also in the act. They got good pressure on him that time.
Testaverde throws it up to Pillow. He has it complete. It's a first down at the 38-yard line. Tampa Bay hurries up to the line of scrimmage. 35 seconds remain on the clock. And there is a flag, and it's going to be against Tampa Bay. Boy, that flag was hidden.
I don't know where it came from.
Illegal motion number 47, 5-yard penalty.
Boy, is that costly. So now, instead of being on the 36-yard line with a first down in 35 seconds, now Tampa Bay goes all the way back to the 39, their own 39. It'll be 2nd and 21. Three wide receivers, shotgun formation for the Bucs. Again, there's pressure on Testaverde. Throws this one in the direction of Smith, incomplete. It seems as if he gets in trouble when he throws down the middle, Hank.
Yeah, and I think the trouble with it really predetermines, I think, a little bit this stage of his career, and he wants to make sure he gets the ball there, doesn't look off the receiver at all, or the defensive back or the safety, and as a result, he attracts an awful lot of attention when the ball's thrown down the middle.
Boy, he is a talent, though.
Oh, he's a great talent. There's no question about that.
And a quality guy. Third down and 21. The ball on the 39 with 30 seconds remaining. Testaverde throws this one incomplete in the direction of Jeff Smith. 25 seconds remain on the clock, but now Tampa Bay will have to punt it. Andre Tippett, Brent Williams had the pressure on Testaverde.
Now they have to go after the kick, Timmy. In this situation, New England should go after the kicker. 25 seconds left. Hope they can block it and get a big play.
Ray Criswell to do the punting with the wind at his back, and he's kicking to Irving Fryer. And it's a low liner, and Fryer will have a return. Looks for a block. Back to the 37-yard line. And the clock stops with 14 seconds remaining. Ron Hall made the tackle. 32-yard punt, 8-yard return. Good coverage by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Tampa Bay is out of timeouts. New England has all 3. And you see the clock on the right as well.
And again, the important thing that you have to remember is
That's a personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct to number 57, 15 yards, and a first down.
It's against Winston Moss of Tampa Bay.
15-yard penalty.
So that moves the ball into Tampa territory, and that is a mighty big penalty. 14 seconds remain. That's the 8th penalty of the afternoon for Tampa.
As Sorowski said before the game, if they get it down to the 30 at this end of the field, I can make the field goal. He was making them before the contest.
Shotgun formation. Eason with time. Double pumps. Now looks for help and throws it incomplete. No flags. It was intended for Stanley Morgan. Clock stops at 9 seconds. Well, let's update you on that situation. New England's field goal kicker, Jason Starowski, his longest field goal is 35 yards. However, New England is unusual in that they keep two kickers active. Teddy Garcia is the other, and he's the long field goal kicker, and they say from 45 yards and out, he's strong. It is Starowski who's warming up, though, and Garcia better get loose as well.
First time out, New England.
So New England takes their first time out, 2 remaining.
But I watched him before the game, and he was definitely popping them through there from the 30-yard line, and felt good about it.
Starowski
was, yeah.
So it'll take at least one good completion to get him down inside. His range, again, his longest is 35 yards. 9 seconds remain in the ball game, and it's 7-7.
And here again, Eason has to tell the official right now he's going to try to throw the ball downfield to get to the 30-yard line area and make sure that we'll call timeout. You understand we're going to call timeout.
Costly penalty by Winston Moss. Personal foul on the return. Moved it down into Tampa territory. So with 9 seconds remaining, it'll be 2nd down and 10. The ball at the 49. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers for the Patriots. Again, Eason has time, goes down the right side, has a receiver, incomplete. Harry Hamilton came out of the free safety position to knock that pass away, and for an instant, it looked like the receiver was open down that right sideline.
Now we might see the old Big Ben play. The Big Ben play with 3 wide receivers on one side with the hope maybe that they can get the ball downfield and get a big play on that kind of a formation.
Boy, Cedric Jones just came open for a second. That was a great play by Hamilton.
But once the ball is in the air, the safety man can travel about 20 yards, and he ran a long way to help on that play.
And again, it was because the ball just floated.
Right, it hung
or
up
was
there.
Floating.
Yep. Here's the Big Ben play coming up right here.
3rd down and 10 from the 49, and there's a whistle. Flags down. Here's Ben Dreif with the call. Still a second remaining on the clock. One second remaining in the ball game. Tied at 7, and it looks like it's going into overtime. As soon as we get squared away and find out what this call is all about. Flag was dropped all the way back at the New England 32.
There's a delay in the game. Delay in the game, 5 yards.
4 seconds on the clock.
4 seconds back on the clock.
So they get that all squared away, put 3 more back. It's 4 seconds remaining in the ball game now. Tampa Bay has the ball at the 46-yard line, their own 46.
3.
This will be the last play of the ball game with 4 seconds left. Tampa Bay goes to its prevent defense.
Looks like they're back in the tunnel. They're back there so far.
The defensive secondary all the way back to the 30-yard line. Shotgun formation for New England. Eason has pressure, now throws underneath. Cedric Jones laterals to Stanley Morgan. Time has expired, and we're going into overtime. Chris Washington made the tackle for Tampa Bay. Eason gets the completion. It was thrown underneath the lateral play, and time expired.
Pretty good plan for that situation, where they're going to lateral the ball and try to move it down the field that way. Pretty good.
So now let's update you on the overtime situation. Tampa Bay 4-6-1 in the extra period. New England has never won an overtime game. The only team in the NFL without an overtime victory.
It's incredible, isn't it, to have 10 overtimes and not win one?
And again, we tell you how important this game is to the Patriots. The Patriots need to win this game and next week's game against Denver to get into the playoffs. They also need help. Here's the flip of the coin.
Tails. You're defending a goal. That's right. He's defending a goal, so you can receive. Okay. You're going to defend that goal. You're going to receive down here. New England will receive down here. Tampa was going to run the toss. They want to defend the goal.
I don't understand it. That's a mistake. Tampa Bay won the toss and elected to defend a goal rather than take the ball. This is sudden death.
Yeah, but they want to win. They figure they're going to kick the ball down there. They won't be able to move it, and going into the wind, they feel they get good field position, and they'll have the advantage. That's what the thinking is.
Gutsy call by Perkins.
I think it's a good call.
The rules of overtime. We've already had the coin toss. Tampa Bay won and elected to defend. Yeah, each team has 3 timeouts. It's a 15-minute period. However, it ends as soon as somebody scores. So Tampa Bay will be kicking off. John Carney on to do those chores. And deep for New England, Sammy Martin and Elgin Davis. And again, Martin is 3rd in the AFC. He's had a 95-yard touchdown return this year. And just to update you on some of the other games around the league, Chicago has beaten Detroit with a 32-yard field goal with 4 seconds left in the game, and the Bears clinch the division. So they win that title. Barney's kick with the wind behind it is taken by Sammy Martin. And he's a flyer. And Martin out to the 34-yard line, knocked out of bounds at the 35. A return of 34 yards. They'll mark it at the 34. Tackle was made by Victor Jones. And that's a field goal by Butler with 4 seconds left. That gives Chicago the title.
Look at this. Green Bay still 18-6 over Minnesota.
Houston over Cincinnati 41-6. So it looks like that scenario is out for the Patriots. Now they've got to hope Cleveland loses. Number one, they've got to win this game here. First down at the 35-yard line for New England. This is Eason. Fryer breaks the tackle and is knocked out of bounds on the 44-yard line.
You put that one right on the money. Didn't have any trouble with the thumb on that shot.
Gain of 20, knocked out of bounds by Robinson. And the decision to defend rather than accept the kickoff could come back and haunt him.
Here we see the shot of Eason stepping to his left, throwing the ball right in front of the defensive back, Futrell. Irving Fryer running down the sideline, gets knocked out of bounds.
Tampa Bay has lost 6 games by 7 points or less this year. First down at the 44, New England. Eason to throw again. Does across the middle to Russ Francis at the 40. Gain of 5. It'll bring up second down and 5.
That's the great thing about Francis. He's big and he's strong, and once he makes a catch, it's hard to jar the ball loose. He's not going to fumble in it. He's been around a long time. A terrific tight end.
Don't forget, coming up next, New Orleans against San Francisco. Out in the Bay Area, that game for the NFC West title. Second down and 6, the ball at the 40. We're in overtime, and the temperature 24 below 0, wind chill factor. Eason throws across the middle, bounces this one in the direction of Stanley Morgan, incomplete. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
And Fryer was one-on-one on Futrell on the left side, and Futrell is playing very deep. Look for something in that area if he gets the same defense.
Starowski trying to get loose again. His longest field goal of the year is 35 yards. They're also warming up the punter, Jeff Beagles. 6 defensive backs for Tampa Bay now. 3 wideouts for New England out of the shotgun formation. They need 6. There's pressure on Eason. He goes deep to Fryer, and Fryer has the catch at the 15-yard line.
What a catch!
A gain of 26. He came back behind Ricky Reynolds to make the stop. And Fryer's hurt. Boy, what a catch by Fryer.
Well, it's a first down for the Patriots. 50-yard line to the goal.
In the slot, making a move on Ricky Reynolds, goes to the outside. The ball is thrown behind him. He comes back and makes the catch. But in the process, it's hard to tell what happened, but they had to carry him off the field. There you see him carried over to the sideline. You can't tell whether it was an ankle or whether it was a knee or what happened on the play.
Eason is 4 for 5 in the overtime period. Down at the 14-yard line for New England. Stevens off the right side, down to the 12-yard line. Eugene Marvin, Irvin Randall make the tackle there.
Ordinarily, in a situation like this where they are right now, why, a lot of times you just line up and kick the field and get it over with. But with the wind the way it is, they're kicking into the wind. They want to make sure they get it as close as they possibly can, or even score the touchdown.
2nd down and 8 at the 12. Power I formation. Stevens bangs his way inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, carrying tacklers. Kurt Jarvis had the first hand on him. He got help from the linebackers. So it'll bring up 3rd down and call it 5, and that's going to be as far as Raymond Berry wants to go. He's bringing on Starowski as field goal kicker.
Jason Starowski with a field goal. Jeff Eason.
Starowski's kicking into the wind. It's a 27-yard attempt. Fiegels is his holder. It's long enough and it's good. Playoff hopes are still alive for New England. Perkins, Raymond Berry, and there's Starowski, who kicked the game winner from 27 yards out.
Watch Starowski after he makes his catch. After he makes the kick, here he goes. It's good. They're number 1.
Well, you still have to question the call. And Tampa Bay won the toss and elected to defend rather than take the ball in a sudden death overtime period.
That's the first time I've seen Raymond Berry express much animation.
Anything to keep warm when it's this cold.
That's right. That's right.
So for Hank Stram, I'm Tim Brandt saying so long from Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, with a final score, New England 10, Tampa Bay 7. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after these words from your local station.
Your official Florida lottery station.